back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. It is the last day of February, and it is going to be very active going through this week, going into early March. So do stick with me in this video as we have lots to discuss, including a northeast snowstorm today and tonight, followed by a significant severe weather outbreak to unfold on Thursday and Friday across the southern plains, the deep south, and then a major rainstorm and snowstorm across the north Thursday through Saturday this upcoming weekend. We'll get to all the details here in this video, but if you guys have not known, again, we have 1 day left to my 1 year of being on YouTube, which is tomorrow on Wednesday, March 1st. So if you want to show some appreciation to the channel and subscribe, hit the subscribe button down below here. It helps to get all of this information out to as much people as possible, and as well as get all of my daily weather forecast updates each and every morning at 9 a.m. here on this channel. Definitely much appreciated. So hit the subscribe button down below, guys. I definitely appreciate it. But going back to Sunday, we did have a severe weather outbreak on Sunday, February 26th. Look at all of the severe weather reports. We've added up to 14 tornado reports across multiple states across the central and southern plains, 149 wind reports, with 17 of those being with 75-mile-per-hour winds or stronger, 15 hail reports for a total of 178 total severe weather reports across the southern United States here on Sunday, and then a lingering threat for severe weather on Monday, yesterday on the 27th. We did confirm 6 tornado reports there, 31 wind reports with 12 hail reports, with one of those being 2-inch diameter or higher, with 49 total severe weather reports on Monday across the Ohio Valley, with many of those tornado reports actually near the Chicago suburbs down toward eastern Illinois as well. But as we go through today, we got 2 systems to watch. The first system across the Northeast will be exiting the United States as a snowstorm this afternoon and evening, but all attention will be on the West Coast as another major trough will be digging in out west here on Tuesday, bringing more heavy snow and heavy rainfall to not only California, but Oregon, Washington State, and much of the north central Rockies through February 28th here on Tuesday. But if you guys are still with me on the video, press that like button down below. Let's get as many people as possible to watch this video to get all of the information we need out here for these next several days, as we have lots of severe weather, lots of snowstorms, and lots of rainstorms to cover here. So press the like button down below, that thumbs up button, everyone. Definitely appreciate it. But going across here the Northeast, the past 48 hours, the past 2 days of snowfall accumulation has been pretty significant up here across upstate New York through Vermont, New Hampshire, and even western Maine. Some of these areas have picked up over 6 inches, including up to near 9 inches of snow in towards the northern portions of New York State. We're going to be adding to those totals here as we go through the day today before this storm does exit. We still have winter weather advisories in the purple here from Maine all the way back into northeastern Pennsylvania. And in between there, we have these pink shaded colors, and that is a winter storm warning across much of Vermont, New Hampshire, coastal Maine, getting down through Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, portions of eastern New York State and northeastern Pennsylvania, and even a small portion of northern New Jersey as well. So you can see through the noon time frame, all this heavier snow will be spreading across the Northeast through Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, into eastern New York State, and even toward the Boston region in Massachusetts. But as we go into mid-evening this evening at 9 p.m., all the snow will be exiting up here towards Maine. So places like Portland, Maine, up toward the Caribou region, we still could be seeing those half-inch to inch-per-hour snow rates going through this evening. And then the system will finally move off to the east into eastern Canada and exit the United States by the time we reach Wednesday, March 1st at 6 a.m. here to start the morning commute. But definitely here a lot more snowfall. Additional snowfall accumulation across this region through Wednesday morning will be another 3 to 6 or even 7 inches worth of snow here from western Maine, coastal Maine, down through the Boston region here. Additional 5 to 6 inches there, and then a couple more inches of snow even back toward the Albany, New York region as well, and getting down toward Hartford, Connecticut through that Wednesday morning commute. So definitely more shoveling, more snow blowing to go around across the Northeast through these next 24 to 48 hours. But as we widen the view, we have another small snow system up here across portions of the Dakotas and into central Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, bringing some winter weather advisories and even a smaller portion of winter storm warnings here to North Dakota. A few inches of snow could be expected there through the week, but our next big system is already causing several of the National Weather Service offices to issue blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings, and winter weather advisories out west for the anticipation of a major storm system throughout the week here this week. And here's the storm system here on Tuesday. It's going to be moving across the Pacific Northwest as that positively tilted trough through Tuesday afternoon today, and then that will be moving across the desert Southwest into Southern California as we start March here on Wednesday, March 1st. And what this system will be doing starting at noon on Tuesday will be bringing some very heavy snow here across portions of the Sierra Nevada mountains, also here into the coastal California this afternoon. That will be spreading down across portions of central California and much of the Intermountain West with heavy snow in the upper elevations through this evening. And then by the time we turn into tomorrow on Wednesday, March 1st, all this heavy rain and heavy snow moves farther south toward Las Vegas, the Salt Lake City region, western Colorado, northern portions of Arizona, and then even down into the San Diego region, San Francisco, Los Angeles. These areas will start to see some very heavy rain and snow into those areas getting through the 6 a.m. time frame on Wednesday. And that all continues to move its way farther off to the east very slowly into the western Four Corners region, into western Colorado, Utah, and down into northern and central portions of Arizona, including, again, some heavy snow for the Flagstaff region by 6 p.m. on Wednesday evening tomorrow. So additional snowfall, or at least total snowfall accumulation from now through Thursday, March 2nd. We have that smaller snow system up here bringing some quick shot of maybe up to 6 inches of snow into southern North Dakota, northern portions of South Dakota, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow up here toward the Twin Cities region into northern Wisconsin. But the bigger system by far will be across the west, especially the Sierra Nevada mountains, guys. Look at this heavy snow, 56.5 inches up here into the northern Sierra Nevadas. Even here, some spots getting near 70 inches is possible toward the southern Sierra Nevada mountain range here into southern California by the time we get through that Wednesday time frame. So definitely a heavy amount of snow. And even up here towards Salt Lake City, we could be seeing over a foot of snow there. Western Colorado and the northern portions of Arizona, the Flagstaff region, yeah, we could be picking up near a foot of snow into the northern Arizona going through that Wednesday morning time frame. But also the heavy rainfall as well in those lower elevations. So places like Phoenix, we could be picking up 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain here. Los Angeles, maybe near an inch or two of rain, and getting up towards San Francisco, Long Beach, getting up there toward the Santa Barbara region into California. Definitely seeing a 1/2 inch to an inch of rain or more across those regions going through that Wednesday, March 1st time frame. But then as the system moves to the east here on Wednesday as well, we're going to have another piece of energy move across the southern United States. We're going to have that marginal to slight risk for severe weather across the Arklatex and Arklamis region down here on Wednesday, with a 2 to 5% shading for tornadoes from the Memphis area up here towards Nashville, down into the Tupelo region, into Mississippi, Little Rock, up there towards Jonesboro, Arkansas, and then potentially as far west-southwestward as the eastern side of the DFW Metroplex. Even a lower-end threat for hail and damaging wind gusts of quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts on Wednesday afternoon. So tracking this here at noon time frame on Wednesday tomorrow, we could be seeing some isolated storms start to develop near Little Rock back toward Texarkana by noon time frame. These will propagate farther east across the Tennessee Valley and the central Gulf Coast states. Storms will be rumbling across portions of the Tupelo region up here toward Birmingham, Tuscaloosa by the time we get in toward the 6 p.m. time frame Wednesday evening. And then these will start to fall apart, at least with the intensity of the storms. We'll still have those garden variety storms, or at least some marginally severe storms with up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail overnight into Thursday morning at 2 a.m. But the tornado threat will start to weaken as the boundary layer starts to stabilize, with all of those dew points starting to move a little bit slower on in the atmosphere, start to drop out of the 60s back to the 50s overnight. But as we get into Thursday, March 2nd, this is interesting now. We have a neutrally tilted trough down here across West Texas and entering into the southern plains, and this will take a negative tilt very quickly by Friday, March 3rd, and usually negatively tilted troughs bring troubling weather for severe severe weather. And in fact, on Thursday, March 2nd, the Storm Prediction Center has been consistently showing a level 3 of 5, an enhanced risk from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on over here towards Shreveport, Monroe, Louisiana, Little Rock, the Memphis area, and then down here toward Jackson, Mississippi. And even that slight risk extending farther east into central and eastern portions of Alabama, getting up toward the Nashville region in Tennessee. And look at the probabilities here. We have a 30% chance of a hatched risk of damaging winds over 75 miles per hour here. EF2 or stronger type of tornadoes, as well as 2-inch or larger type of hailstones from the DFW Metroplex on up here toward McKinney, Denton, Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, much of the Little Rock region on southward, Shreveport up there toward Monroe, Louisiana, and then getting into northwestern Mississippi with some lower probabilities farther east into Alabama. And the setup for this is with those dew points rising well into the 60s to near 70 degrees out here across much of the Arklamis and Arklatex regions by Thursday afternoon and evening. And we have a very significant mid-level jet rounding the base of that trough here into East Texas and much of the Arklatex by Thursday evening, followed by a very robust south-southwesterly low-level jet as well ahead of the system. And I did take a sounding of the Arklatex region by Thursday evening here around 6 o'clock, and you do see a PDS tornado tag, which means a particularly dangerous situation tornado is possible. We might have those strong, long-track tornadoes initially with these storms before they start to develop into a squall line with widespread damaging winds. So on Thursday, 6 p.m., we got that supercell thunderstorms into central Texas firing off by late afternoon, early evening, and then quickly growing upscale to a squall line, much like we saw on Sunday into Monday there across the central and southern plains, this time a little farther south and east. But this will be producing some very heavy rainfall, some strong winds, strong tornadoes, hail, and all that type of stuff here. And that will be progressing farther east by midnight here on Friday. This will be moving across Arkansas, Louisiana, and getting into western Mississippi. And then by the time we get to 6 a.m. on Friday, still maybe some ongoing severe weather across Mississippi, western Tennessee, getting into western Alabama here, even at 6 a.m. on Friday. You start to see a snow side develop with that to the north. We're going to be seeing a snowstorm up towards portions of the Chicagoland area, back towards northern Missouri, central Illinois, and even toward the Kansas City region by the time we get into Friday morning. But then even on Friday, we have that continuous severe weather threat here across the Tennessee Valley down into the southeast. So this includes Tennessee, southeastern Kentucky, the Carolinas here, both North and South Carolina, western Virginia, down here toward the Atlanta metro area and the portions of Savannah, Georgia, Columbia, South Carolina there, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, down here toward the Tallahassee region as well, down into northwestern Florida. And you do see, again, the same setup. Dew points will be rising through the 60s here on Friday ahead of that cold front, and a very powerful surface cyclone will be ejecting across the Ohio Valley. And just on the eastern side of that, we're going to have a very powerful mid-level jet here, anywhere over 100 knots, and a very robust low-level jet on Friday as well. So all modes of severe weather will be likely again on Friday, and that squall line will just continue almost unimpeded farther to the east across the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and the southeast with widespread damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. And again, looking back to that slight risk I did show you across the southeast, I do think they upgrade that probably to an enhanced risk over the next couple of updates here. And then, of course, you got that snowstorm on the northern side. That will be progressing up here even in toward the Chicagoland region, much of Michigan toward Detroit, the Toronto region, Montreal here, and into interior portions of the Northeast. I think the rainfall line moves farther north, so places like Pittsburgh, Baltimore up toward Philadelphia, even northern New Jersey probably sees more rainfall with this system than snow going in towards Saturday at midnight there. And then through Saturday at noon time frame, all that snow will be exiting the United States through portions of Maine. So Caribou down there toward the Portland, Maine region, we'll be seeing some lingering light to moderate snow showers by Saturday midday. Looking at the rainfall accumulation with this system, very significant, widespread 2 to 4 inches or more of rainfall across the mid-Mississippi Valley here on Thursday into Friday. And that's why the Weather Prediction Center flash flooding probability is up to a moderate risk across the mid-Mississippi Valley from north central Arkansas into western Tennessee, the foothill here of Missouri into western Kentucky as well, with a much larger marginal to slight risk here surrounding that from Thursday into Friday. And then all that heavy rain pushes to the north and east on Friday into Saturday across the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and even the Mid-Atlantic down here as well, with rainfall amounts averaging 1 to 2 inches across these areas. And then that marginal risk for flash flooding with the probabilities will be pushing north and east as well on Friday into Saturday across Indiana, Ohio, getting through Pennsylvania and north central New Jersey through that time frame. But like I mentioned, we got a robust snowstorm on the backside here, enough cold air, at least in the low levels, and then that will transfer down to the surface as well. Temperatures will be marginal, will be in the upper 20s to low 30s, but just enough for snowfall across portions of the western Great Lakes, the central Great Lakes, and then on over here to the Northeast. Possibly the biggest snowstorm of the season for the Northeast coming here late this week on Friday the 3rd into Saturday, March 4th. Definitely a lot of these areas could be seeing over a foot of snow here from New York State through Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, getting down through the Boston region, Connecticut, maybe New York City getting up to over 6 inches here potentially if this all works out right as well. And then even back toward Detroit, over 6 inches, maybe a solid swath or at least a narrow swath of over a foot of snow back here toward Milwaukee, Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, and then getting back down here into northeastern Missouri later on this week. And the GEFS ensemble data does support this as well, fairly similar to the European guidance on that Friday to Saturday timeframe with the track of this system. So definitely a major snowstorm is on the way later on this week. I know that was a lot to get to, guys. Lots of information over the next several days. I'll try to keep you ahead of the storm here with the weather forecast recap. A northeast snowstorm today into tonight with lingering snow across the northeast. A significant severe weather across the southern plains and deep south both Thursday into Friday. All modes of severe weather will be in play, from strong tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds in a widespread fashion, and as well as heavy rain. And then again, a major rainstorm and snowstorm across the north Thursday through Saturday with lots of snow, lots of rain, and even some flooding across those areas. Well, thank you so much for watching here, everyone. Definitely appreciate it. Remember to like the video down below, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. I'll get to those later on today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Have a great Tuesday, everybody, a great end of February, and I will see you all in the next video.